going to send my screen up to yours. Everybody's logged in at this point, right? So there's mine. So I am going to log into my site. I'm going to go to mine. And I'm going to make a new folder in here as well. I should have told you that. I want to call this classwork. Does that make sense why I called it classwork? Because we're in class, right? And then I'm going to create a new file. One of them is going to be called input.php. And the other one's going to be called handler.php. It's probably a good bet that we all have laying around some HTML. So I'm going to open up my PHP, my input.php, and I want to see if I got something laying around here. If not, I'll just recreate it. Let me see here. No. Here we go. So turns out I got a little bit of HTML laying around that's going to do exactly what I want for this input. So I want to stick it in here. And I want to clean it up a little bit. So I want to call this input.php. It's going to be the title. Take that out. And I'll explain this, but I'm going to take this out right now. And here I have first name. I want to clean it all the way up, and then you can copy and paste to your heart's desire. All right, so this is ultimately what we need, right? We need, and maybe I'll put this in as an H1. This is the input. And then we're going to create a forum, and the action is going to be taking us to the name of our handler. Now, I created my handler in the same directory as my input, so I'm going to call it handler.php. Spelling counts. All right, spelling counts. I want to save that off. Don't worry, I'll get out of your way there. Give me a second. And then the other thing I'm going to do here, so I can see what I'm doing, because I don't have multiple screens like you guys. Uh-oh. So there's my input. I want to make sure that it renders. When I click to the handler, nothing's going to happen because I haven't done anything with that. So I'll be quiet for a minute and let you finish that off. Yes, sir. Oh, I need to release your screen. Jordan, I'm recording everything, so that's going to be good for you. Everybody, I got to stop sharing for just a moment. Go ahead, Jordan. Let me know when you're logging in. What do you mean? Oh, okay. Hold on. I see. Test it. Make sure you get. This is the input page. Yada yada yada. Looks. Yeah. No, it's okay. Looks like the power got bumped. Yeah. It's already there. It's just the power got bumped. There you go. Yep. Does all of the HTML that I have up there, does it make sense? Is there anybody that's confused about what my HTML says? Shouldn't be, right? Pretty good?
You have enter your first name going on twice, though.
That's because I copied and pasted. And they're both first name, too. All right. Give you just another few seconds, then I'm going to move on. If I lose you, don't worry. I'll keep everything up there, but you're going to need to pay attention to me.
How do you get the file to open on the actual internet? Do I have to download this?
No, click on View Edit. Right-click, View Edit. And then say Reopen. Is that what you want?
Yeah, how do I get this to come up?
Oh, you got to bring up a browser for that. Remember? We got to go to a browser. Yes, Jared. We'll click on your input. Okay, so go back. Bring up your code. So let's go over and look. Well, that's a good one. That's a good trick. Okay. Double check what you have against mine. I want to explain something, and then I'll come back and help them. Okay. All right. So this is what I want to do. I want everybody to kind of focus on me for a few minutes. I want to show you some stuff, and then we can finish everything up. Okay. So here's the deal. When we enter in first name and last name, we're asking it to be placed into a variable called fname Can you see that? An L name. That information, when it's passed over, is placed into a post array. So this is what it looks like. The name of my array is called post. All right? It's going to be called post. We are going to refer to the key value, not indice, right? So if we want to know what was entered for first name, we're going to say post at position F name. All right? And then if we want to know what was entered for last name, we're going to say post at position L name. All right? So they're individual variable names here, but then they get turned into what we call key values for our array, because this is referred to, it's going to be a little while before we get to this, but this is called an associative array. You're used to referring to an array by a number, by its indice, right? We're simply referring to it by key value, in this case, first name and last name. That's all we're doing. If we put more information in here, more ways to collect input, we just adjust the key value. So let's say we put one called number. We would say post at number, and we would be able to retrieve whatever number the user entered on that form. Everybody with me? All right. So let's go to the handler and catch this information over on the handler. So I'm going to open up my handler. And this is going to be really short the short information. I want to copy over the basic, because I still need that HTML and everything over here. So I want to copy over the basics. And then I'm going to strip out everything else, though. All right. How do I start a PHP script? Yep. Angle bracket, question mark, PHP. How do I end it? Question mark, angle bracket. All that is, those are my delimiters for a PHP script. For JavaScript, we say script and script. For cascading style sheets, we say style and style. Delimiters, beginning and ending. All right? So, inside of my PHP code block, which, by the way, we can have as many code blocks as we want on any given document. For a comment, we just put // and we're going to remind ourselves that the post, all caps, is an associative array. The elements can be called by the key value. That is a name of the HTML name. All right. To declare a variable in PHP is really hard. You just say $. And I want to call this first name. So I'm going to give you a lot of different pieces of information here. All right. PHP is a loosely typed language. I think Python is too, right? With Python, you didn't have to write int or float or string or anything, right? You say, I want a variable. So it's a loosely typed language. Strongly typed languages, you have to tell the language what type of data you're going to store. Is it going to be an integer? Is it going to be a decimal? Is it going to be a Boolean? What is it going to be? PHP, we don't need to worry about that. So we're going to say first name, and we're going to capture that data that's sent from my input. And this is how we do it. We're going to say post $_ post, all caps. And this is the technical PHP. Square bracket, at position, crap, I forget the name, fname, at position fname, put that into a PHP variable that I can use. And then I'm going to do the same thing for second name, or last name. Post at position. What did I call it over there in the name in my HTML? Well, I flip back over. I called it L name. That's it. I have now successfully passed the information. Don't try it out yet because it ain't going to do anything yet. Because all we do is caught it, right? We've caught it to handle it. Input to the array, and now I have it on my handler, right? Well, let's output it now. Let's show that we have it. So to output it, we're just going to make a quick print statement. We're not going to do anything fancy with it. We're just going to say print, you entered. Now, we have a concatenating operator in PHP. It exists. It's a period. That would enable us to concatenate two different things together. But we can also do it in line for basic stuff like this. All we have to do is put the name of our variables in there. You entered $, first name for first name, and I'll put a little break in there, and last name for last name. Now, if you want, you can fancy that up a little bit. Maybe you want first name to actually be in bold on the output. You play with that while I go around and help everybody out. Go ahead and let's save it off and make sure it works. You entered Mike for first name and Flynn for last name. Worked for me. But maybe I want the Mike and the Flynn to stand out. Okay. Can I just put a B in there? I can't remember on HTML5. Yeah, we'll find out. Worked for me. We figured it out, Jared? No. Still giving you a fit? Okay. So let's have a look. I don't know what's going to be best for me. There we go. Hit F5 for me. Okay, see how that input is 0? That's concerning, right? So where is your stuff? Let's get ourselves set up here. Okay, I'm going to grab that. Now I say copy, and we'll close that. All right. And then we'll come back down here to my FileZilla. And let's see. Right click, view edit. I can't help but think you had two of them opened up in there somewhere. And we'll hit save. Don't worry, you'll get it straight. You'll get it straight. Good? All right, man. Yep. Okay, those of you that are all caught up, put an input for a number to get a number, and then do something with the number. Make it loop and count to 10 or count to the number, or make it do something funky. See if you can do that. Okay. Probably what happened is we got lost here. See how those are all zeros? That's an indicator something funky's going on. All right. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to put it over here, and you have everything in here, right? Okay, I got to bring it all the way over here so I can see it a little better. Okay. Okay. So here is my input. You've already saved it, right? You saved everything. And then did FileZilla pop up and say upload? No, it didn't. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take it all. I'm going to take this. I'm going to say copy. Oh, not paste. Come on. Say copy. And then we're going to... Hello? Hello? Okay. So we're going to right-click, and we're going to say View Edit File. And there it is. And we're going to paste it back in here. Now we're going to save that. Notice how FileZilla is going to pop up over here, and it's going to say, hey, do you want to save that? Yeah, I do. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing. Which one of these was input? That was input, right? So we'll make sure we close that off. No. And then this is our handler. We're going to do the same thing there. And you need not worry. You're going to get the hang of it. It just takes a little while, because now, imagine if I just thrown you into this where you'd be, right? You're like, holy shit, what am I got myself into now? All right. Hit that. Hit F5 for me. Yeah, see how those changed? Yeah, we're good to go now. So let's go over to here. And there's input. Let's hit refresh. Is that input? And now I don't know why it's doing that. All right, let me have a look at your actual code now at that point. Okay, so that says input PHP. Okay, that looks good. I'm not sure why that's not rendering. I'm not sure here. Keep looking at this. HTML. Body. Form. Right. There comes a time where you just say, it's going to be quicker if I just redo it. I want to give you my code, my 2 sheets. You got this all set up at home? Okay. So what I want you to do is, because we're out of time, I want you to just delete the ones that are up here. I want to give you my code, and I want you to retype it at home and put it up on the server. Okay, because I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to delete both of these. Yes. Yep. You can do it in here right now again if you want. So there is that. Do that. Get that working, and then do that. What's up? Undefined index F name in line 12. All right. So you said F name. Let's have a look at. This is a parser error. All right. So let's come into your code, into this code. This code. You called it F name and L name. And then in your handler, I'm done.
Are you still gonna post the video?
Yep, I'll post this one up too. There you go. I think you made a change. I think you fixed it, and then you forgot to hit save.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 second, Ethan. Let me turn this off.